I started my focus in medicine in a specialty called hematology or marrow transplant. It couldn't be more opposite to what I'm practicing now in hospice and palliative medicine. This is one of the most cowboy endeavors. We rush in to where death is most certainly guaranteed, and we offer an alternative to where death is nearly certainly guaranteed. And we do this over and over. When I first started out in the fellowship, I was coming at it for the truth of science. I actually had no desire to be a practicing physician when I went to medical school. I was a scientist. And I fell in love with immunology. That's what my PhD is in. And autoimmunity, when the body's immune system starts to misrecognize, lose recognition of itself, and starts to attack itself. Transplant became the clinical experience of that. Every single patient was an experiment. So I eagerly sought that rotation my first month of internship, and everyone eagerly handed it to me. Nobody wanted this, but I did. And what was striking was what I didn't expect, was the courage that I came face to face with every patient that I met. They seemed to know the truth. They seemed to know that they had life-threatening illness. And they seemed to know the risks that they were entering into. And for the most part, they did it with eyes wide open. When I started my fellowship officially, I remember a young patient of 20s, just on the border of pediatric care to adult care. This is about as young as we get in adult care. I don't do pediatrics, Janet. And everyone immediately fell in love with him and called him Bo. Oh, he was just a beam of light. And he had an illness called leukemia, acute leukemia, that in infants is now almost uniformly curable, truly curable. But anybody above infancy, it is almost uniformly fatal. We don't do well in curing this disease. And new in the fellowship, I fell into a trap that is common to many in healthcare, and I would argue all physicians, I can speak pretty confidently about that, that we abdicate, saying what we think we see, saying the truth. We abdicate it justifyingly by saying, oh, there's someone else who knows more, I'm not the expert. It's not my place, I don't know the patient as well, not going there. Now with this kind of leukemia, Bo would come in on a very regular basis to get particular kinds of chemotherapy put right into his brain, to bathe the brain in this chemotherapy. And he had this adorable little bubble on his head that's called an Ommaya reservoir. You know, just stuff we never would have never seen, couldn't not look at, right? Elephant in the room, bump on the head. And he would laugh about it. And he knew every new fellow that came in had no idea what it was, and we were all going to learn, and he was happily going to learn anything. And he did, smiling the whole time. We would each come in there clueless, learning how to poke a needle into his bubble after we pumped it. And he would just laugh and happily share himself with us. And doing this month after month, week after week, I never once had a conversation with him about what he thought was going on, what was his understanding. What did he think could happen? What did he think would happen? Even though the rest of us, none of us talked about it with him, and none of us talked about it with ourselves as a group. And the day that he showed up was an evening. A colleague of mine was on call, and I was taking over the service the next morning. He showed up unconscious, dire straits. Often when this leukemia comes back with a vengeance and clogs up the brain. And so there he was in the intensive care unit, essentially the equivalent of having had a stroke. No longer speak, couldn't move. Family coming in, just family. Of course they are. Look what they produced. Community coming in to support them. Sister coming in from college. My attending in Iraq, somewhere far, far away. Someone needs to talk to the family. I remember this, walking into this room, this glorious family, and crying with them. There's nothing else to do. I don't remember if I actually said that Bo was dying. Probably. I certainly said we're not going to be able to cure his cancer, and I don't think he's going to be able to speak or swallow. What do you think he would want? Such a horrible thing to ask family, to know what the truth is for someone else, whom they most certainly never asked. We didn't help them to ask it. Yet somehow they knew Bo so well because his truth radiated for the world that the life he was now living was not consistent with who he had been his entire life. And so as difficult as it was, they chose to not prolong aggressive curative therapy and to focus on it. And I share this because after I left that meeting, I left them in the room with many boxes of tissues, and I went out to the nurse's station to dutifully call my attending and inform him. And the nurse at the nursing station took one look at me and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm fine." And made the call. We never talked about it again. That's the kind of truth telling we do in medicine with our colleagues often. Certainly in my former specialty of hematology and oncology. There's actually plenty of data and literature out there, scientific truth, how much we don't tell the truth to each other about what